Yes, I had the opportunity to actually play the new Star Wars Outlaws open world video game months before it's due to come out August 30th. This is going to be a 3-part series sharing with you guys all the details from each adventure I was able to experience as Kay Vess at Ubisoft Forward. By the way guys, thank you for clicking on my video and please consider subscribing and hitting that like button, it really supports my channel. And before we jump into this video, I want to sincerely thank Ubisoft for inviting me to the event. It was truly a privilege and I had a blast. Alright guys, now we are on to part 2 of the gameplay I was able to experience at Ubisoft Forward. Look at this beautiful landscape, all the creatures flying around, notice the trees blowing in the wind, the entire environment is so alive. Hey, really impressed with the amount of detail they put into the environment and the atmosphere. Kay's gonna slowly turn around here and then the floor is going to break. I really felt like her motion, falling, catching her landing, all was very fluid. So again, like controlling Kay myself, it's kind of hard to explain, but it didn't feel robotic. It felt very natural and something you would expect from like a top tier, excellent quality video game. So in case you missed the first video, I'll put a link to that at the end of this one, that they gave us 3 different adventures to experience, each of them showcasing the gameplay and the environments a little bit differently. The first one was geared more towards space, piloting the Trailblazer, and this one is going to be more of her adventuring gameplay. As you just saw, the climbing, the jumping. Using her grappling hook, she is full of all the tools necessary to be sneaking, avoiding detection, getting into tough spots with her grappling hook. She's got smoke grenades. You're going to see all that coming up here. And I thought it would take a minute to remind you guys that even though I got to play through all these adventures myself, luckily, Ubisoft sent me this B-roll footage to talk through with you guys, to show the gameplay, and I'm really glad they didn't record my personal gameplay because my instinctual gamer could not help but pick up a bunch of trinkets that of course are useless when you're on a timed demo. And of course I got lost a little bit, so this demo footage is definitely better than my own personal gameplay. But as you can see, she's like super agile, parkour skills, tons of stuff to climb with breathtaking environments. This game really did impress me. I could not be more excited about it. And there's only one question that didn't really get answered, understandably, through my demo, is that I think everyone is clamoring, wondering how big is this open world going to be? And, you know, of course, with the timed demo that I was given, you know, rather than letting me drive around the savannah for 30 or 40 minutes, which would have been fun, it would not have let me experience nearly as much. I wouldn't have seen all the natural people in the market or piloted the Trailblazer, so they gave us these adventures for specific reasons, and this is one of them. So we are on the African-themed biome planet, which is new to this game, called Tashara. Following the magical Star Wars equation of 80-20, 80% recognizable and 20% Star Wars. And so on this particular adventure, we are searching through this wreckage of a ship for some kind of nav computer disk. And as you saw earlier, as she was kind of making her way through the adventurous path, that her blaster does have alternate modes, including like an electrical shock, which did trigger some of those little devices to allow for the door to open. So of course, to make the game more fun and interesting, there is a lot of puzzle solving that's going to be happening here. And now she's going to be unlocking some of these different ladders and doors on this mechanism to make her way through the game. And also, like I mentioned in the previous part of this series, that we were given like an assistant to help us through the game, help us navigate things, because they didn't want to waste our time on tutorials. They just want to throw us in the mix, let us experience the adventure. And so one thing I wanted to point out is that your overall goal in the mission is targeted by that yellow diamond up at the top of the screen. And there was another button you could press which would show you a path so that you're not going to waste your time getting lost or going the wrong direction like crazy far. So that's really helpful to keep you on track and as keep having a good time, because no one likes having to backtrack for days. That can get really frustrating. All right, so with this computer here, these doors are going to open, and now we have a different kind of an obstacle where you have to be fast when maneuvering in and out of these air vents here on this mechanism. So again, Kay's background, they talk about her being a street thief, so very agile, has tons of skills when it comes to avoiding detection, getting into small places, as you can see here. I remember thinking to myself when I had like these big headphones on and I was testing the game that Nyx actually is constantly running around you in the game and you hear these little pitter patter of footprints. So it's kind of strange to be hearing your own buddy scampering around you rather than just hanging out on your back. But I think that's what makes him like a different kind of companion.
Hey, I think that actually
Definitely, I think Nyx is going to fit into the upper echelon of Star Wars sidekicks, up there with like BD-1. It's probably not going to take very long before we start finding stuffed animals of Nyx all over the Disney parks. So right here, notice that Kay used just a really easy left bumper, probably using the toggle to choose between the like quick actions of commands that she can give Nyx over here on the bottom left hand of the screen. You can hold it down and access like a full menu and send him anywhere to do anything, whether you're distracting someone or pickpocketing a stormtrooper or something. But I think those are quick actions, so you don't have to enter in the full menu. Just like that green thing that lit up there, you could just press the button simply and he'll go fetch whatever item is around, so it actually saves you from having to run up and pick up every little thing that you find throughout the level. By the way, I would like to mention that the items that were like scattered all over the level to pick up, they weren't just ammo. There was some health vials, but it wasn't just ammunition for your blaster. I think it was a lot of materials and metals that then you would take back to forge into useful items for Kay along her adventure. So really quick, she hit the command button to set a trap for that trooper over there, and you tap, tap, tap the left bumper. Oh, boom! Major explosion, and you are able to pick up the rifles and blasters that have been dropped, but of course there is limited ammunition on those. And this part here, I definitely whiffed it when it came to like stealth, but here's a really cool aspect of the game. Check this out. That wasn't like a explosion canister, but a smoke canister, and when Kay crouches, she can creep out of this mist and the smoke and go undetected. That is a really cool aspect of this game that I haven't really seen in too many other games. And so yes, her blaster does have damage and has like electrical shots to disable more droid enemies, but also has, you can see right there, the right bumper is stun. And I think if you tap it, it shoots a quiet stun blast to knock out enemies, but you can also charge it. And that was one mistake I made during gameplay, was I charged it up rather than just tapping it, and that alerted the enemies around, so keep that in mind. Oh, Nyx, nice one to the face. Man, he's brutal. I love watching him attack guys. It looks like one of those face suckers from Aliens, just like attacking their face. Super funny. And this is the nav computer that we were there sent to find. And here we have a mysterious figure. Don't know about her background myself, but looks like she might be getting the drop on Kay, but let's see what happens. Luckily, some disruption. The cinematic looked fantastic. It looks so good. It just looks like normal gameplay. And now Kay is escaping. Everything's falling down, crumbling around you. I mean, look how natural this looks. This doesn't look like chunks have just fallen out that were like supposed to. You know, it doesn't look robotic at all. This environment is extremely impressive, if you ask me. Boom. Stuck the landing. Not bad, Kay. Escape the shipwreck. Bam! Oh, love hitting those explosions. So satisfying, seriously.
I knew we were here too long. Come on.
Classic reroute to your pathway. Cutscene. Heard about Kay's going to be having like alternate skins and costumes available. Oh no! And here we're going to have the surprise entrance of one of the most coolest characters in the game. Check this out. Maybe the only droid in Star Wars who wears clothes. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments for sure, but cloaks don't count. Like when you think about Grievous with the cloak, don't count him. ND5 from the Clone Wars appears to be playing a major role in this epic adventure game. Wham! Oh my gosh, and it was so much fun to sit on that speeder bike in real life. Totally surreal. Loved it at Ubisoft Forward and took off. So this concludes the second adventure I was able to experience of Star Wars Outlaws, and as you could see, there's no part of this game that makes it look like they are not paying attention to detail. All the major components are there that says this is going to be an epic adventure game, and I think the massive exploration of one of our, of course, like everyone's favorite planet in Star Wars is Tatooine, crate dragons, syndicates, all that's going to be just icing on the cake that you're going to have so much space to explore. I did ask them, however, if they could tell me how many planets we were going to be able to explore or give us some idea of the vast size of the explored planets, and they were unable to give me any answers. And as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching to the very end of this gameplay video. I'll be posting the part 3 very soon in the next day or two. So make sure to take care, be safe, and have an awesome Star Wars day.